Have you ever found yourself at a loss for words in a conversation? Or struggle to articulate your thoughts and ideas effectively? Well, you're in the right place. Hey there, you're listening to the Language of the Mind podcast, and I'm your host, Sukanya. Today, we'll be covering essential tips for improving verbal communication skills. 5 practical tips and techniques for speaking with impact, and insights from communication experts. So, if you're ready to take your communication skills to the next level, stay tuned till the end. Before we move ahead, let's just get a picture of what verbal communication is and why is it so important. Well, simply put, it's the exchange of information using words. But mastering verbal communication isn't just about speaking fluently. It's about being clear, it's about being confident, and also convincing. So, why is verbal communication the key? It is simply because it impacts your job interviews, your relationship, and even how well you are understood in a meeting. And more importantly, even in your personal life. When we get it right, people understand us better. Conflicts are reduced, and we build stronger connections as well. Research even shows that good communication skills can boost your career and social life. So, next time when you start talking to people, understand that your communication can take you a long way. Another golden rule for mastering verbal communication is clarity. Ever heard someone speak for a long time and still not understand their point? It's frustrating, isn't it? To avoid that, always be direct and concise. Cut out unnecessary jargon and use simple language that anyone can understand. A simple technique is to ask yourself how you could say it in fewer words. But clarity is not just about the words we use, it is also dependent on our tone, the rate of speech, and even our pauses play a big role in making sure that we are understood. You know, verbal communication isn't just about talking, it is also about listening. And I don't just mean hearing words, I'm talking about active listening. When someone speaks, give them your full attention. Nod, make an eye contact, and respond thoughtfully. Now, all these small nuances ensures respect and a real connection, in fact. Sometimes the best way to improve your own communication is by becoming a better listener. Another thing we often overlook is the impact of body language on verbal communication. We think we may be talking, but our body can communicate a lot without us realizing it. Simple gestures like maintaining an eye contact, nodding while the other person is speaking can complement what we say. It shows confidence and helps us build a rapport with the listener. So always remember that your non-verbal cues also speak just as loudly as your words. Now let's talk something about that we all struggle with. That is having a difficult conversation. Remember the last time when you gave a constructive feedback for someone? Do you even remember the last time when you handled a disagreement? Or when you resolved a conflict? How good are we in negotiating? These situations can be tricky. The best way to overcome such difficult conversation is to stay calm and stay focused on the issue and not on the person. Try and use neutral languages and be empathetic. This reduces the tension and keeps the conversation productive. And also, try to avoid blaming languages like you always do this, da 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 da, or you never listen to me, or oh no, I care a damn about you. Such phrases will have a very stronger impact on your communication. Instead, take ownership and say, I feel this, or I think you should do better, or I think blah 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 blah, and to express your feelings without sounding confrontational. So, mastering verbal communication is all about being clear, concise, and aware of your listener. I have few tips to share with you all. The first tip is to know your audience. Understanding whom you're talking to can drastically change how you frame your message. Whether it's a formal business setting or a casual chat with friends, just know what to speak. Know your audience. The next tip is to pace yourself. Speaking too fast can also make it very difficult to understand, and speaking it too slow may be boring sometimes. Find a balance and don't be afraid to pause to emphasize important points. Maintaining a body language is also crucial when it comes to verbal communication because your body speaks more than your words. So, maintain an eye contact or nod and have some hand gestures. Now, this shows confidence and it will help you build a rapport with the listener as well. So, we've come to the end of the episode. To summarize today's episode, mastering verbal communication is all about being clear, concise, and aware of your listener. Tailor your message, pay attention to your tone, and always be a good listener. And don't forget, practice always makes perfect. The more mindful you are of how you speak and listen, the better you'll get at it. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to share it with your friends and family. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover in the future episodes, drop a message. Until next time, this is Sukanya reminding you to speak confidently and listen actively, turning conversations into connections.